It's time for the 1,000 subscriber Q&A. Let's get right into it. Proud of you, man. I'm proud of myself too. I'm wondering why you got 1K subs so fast and I haven't. Well, let's get you one step closer. Boom. Subscribed. And to be honest, I'd love to give you advice on how to grow your channel, but I'm still very much a noob myself when it comes to YouTube, so I don't feel like I'm in a position where I could be giving away advice right now. But keep going. Sinner or Alcaraz? I'm gonna have to go with Alcaraz. Sinner's obviously a phenomenal player and he seems to be a really great guy as well, but Alcaraz is just electric out there on the tennis court. Super powerful, yet super crafty. And honestly, I also just find him hilarious.
Well, I'm not gonna lie, I'm a little bit afraid of the beast.
What type of music do you listen to? I'm all about that rock and roll, baby. I'm all about that rock and roll. And a bit of pop too, to be honest. In terms of artists who I like, I gotta mention the Beatles. If you're watching this and you're a Beatles fan, I think you'll be really happy to learn that I'm actually George Harrison reincarnated. Yeah, except in this life, I'm a bit more focused on sports than on music. The band who I listen to more than any other band though is none other than Oasis. Yes, the guys who made Wonderwall. You have biannual haircuts and it grows that much? Yeah, for the past 5 years, I'd pretty much just get my hair cut twice a year. And yeah, I'd say my hair does grow pretty quickly, so it does get pretty long in a hurry. But now, since I'm basically like a celebrity, you know, 1,000 subscribers on YouTube, maybe I'll start putting a bit more effort into my appearance. You know, maybe I'll start getting my hair cut 3 times a year. Which players do you hate? You know guys, hate's a strong word. Are there players who I find maybe a tad unlikable, or maybe not quite that entertaining, or maybe they do things that kind of annoy me? Yes, these kinds of players exist, but I'm not gonna drop names, guys. You know, at the end of the day, I'm just not someone who enjoys slandering people online. Can you, for example, go up to a top 10 ATP player and tell him to shout me out? Thanks in advance. Hey Djokovic, you wanna shout this guy out?
No.
Well, I tried. Why are you so bad at tennis?
Boom. Roasted.
I barely even uploaded any footage of me playing tennis on this channel. I know this guy is just kind of like a troll, but to be honest, unfortunately, he's not super raw. A couple of you guys were wondering how good I am actually at tennis. And it makes sense that you want to know that considering I'm running a tennis channel. But the answer is that I'm not super amazing at tennis. I've never actually received like a tennis NTRP rating, but if I were to rate myself, I'd probably say I'm like a 3.5, maybe a high 3.5. And if you've been watching this channel for a while, you might have seen some clips that I posted of myself serving on this channel. You might be thinking to yourself, whoa, 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 that's not a 3.5 serve, you know, that looks like the serve of an advanced player. But that's the beautiful thing about social media. You could choose to only show what you're good at. And the rest of my game, besides my serve, needs a lot of work. My footwork, my ball tracking, my shot selection, my volleys, my returns. Like, there's so many areas where there's so much room for improvement. But to explain why I'm not such a great tennis player right now, please just allow me to quickly make some excuses. Excuse number 1. I, as an athlete, first and foremost, am a soccer player or footballer, not a tennis player. And I think I'm just gonna play some clips for you right now, just to let you guys know that I do have some skill, okay? At least with a soccer ball, not necessarily with a tennis ball right now, but I'm trying to improve in that area. So yeah, soccer is the sport that I'm best at and that I've played most of my life. Tennis, on the other hand, isn't something that I picked up until 17, 18 years old. And that actually brings me to excuse number 2, which is that when you're 17, 18 years old and you're finishing up high school, after that comes university. And during university, it was pretty hard to find the time to play tennis, specifically like during the school year. But more than anything, when you're a university student and you're spending thousands of dollars on tuition and textbooks and transportation and laptops and food, that, at least for me, did not leave a lot of funds left over to be constantly spending money on like overgrips and tennis balls and tennis shoes. And don't get me started on strings and stringing fees.
I am never gonna financially recover from this.
It's an expensive sport. It's a beautiful sport, but it's expensive. Thankfully though, right now, I am in a position where I can play tennis more often. And this actually brings us to the next question, which is, what is the highest level of tennis you've played at? And what sort of tennis do you currently play during the week? So as I kind of mentioned, I simply just started too late to play high school tennis or varsity college tennis. So I played like college club tennis, and now I just play at a regular club. And recently I've been playing about 3 days a week. Wait, who wrote this question? Travis K. If you could date one WTA player, who'd it be? None. Might be a surprising answer. I feel like most guys who watch tennis do have a WTA crush, whether they like to admit it or not, but I genuinely don't have one. If you could date one ATP player, who would it be? Well, definitely not Zverev, that's for sure. Have you played on all 3 types of courts? No, I've actually only played on hard courts.
Stay hard.
Well, outdoor hard courts and indoor hard courts, because it is 2 different experiences. I feel like I'd really enjoy playing on clay though. I feel like it'd be nice to have that bit of extra time to track down balls and to set up on your shots. Not too keen on playing on grass though. I feel like I'd be slipping and sliding all over the place. A couple of you asked about who inspired me to start playing tennis. So I'm about to drop 2 names that you probably wouldn't expect to hear, so get ready. The 2 guys who made tennis intriguing for me for the first time are none other than Denis Shapovalov and Stefanos Tsitsipas. Allow me to explain. So I've always been into sports in general, like basically my entire life. But for whatever reason as a kid, I was never really into tennis, playing it or watching it. But then the 2017 Rogers Cup happened. The Rogers Cup, which is now called the National Bank Open, is the Masters 1000 event that takes place here in Canada, where I live. And during this tournament is when Denis Shapovalov burst on the scene. As an 18-year-old, he beat Del Potro, and then he beat Nadal, and then he beat Mannarino with hair. Yeah, he beat a non-bald Mannarino. And in the process, he hit one of my favorite shots of all time, a sliding one-handed backhand with his back basically facing the court. It was unreal. Chapo's run in that tournament got a ton of media coverage. Wayne Gretzky was there. And that was the first time, again, I really became kind of intrigued by a tennis event. But then I didn't follow tennis again for a whole year until the summer swing of 2018. And that's when Stefanos Tsitsipas burst on the scene. He had a really good result at the City Open. And then at the Rogers Cup, as a teenager, similar to Shapovalov, he had a crazy run, beating 4 top 10 ATP players in a row. Thiem, Djokovic, Zverev, and Anderson. So that was pretty cool to see. And then from that summer swing on, I've been following tennis. And that's also when my brother and I decided that we should try out playing tennis for the first time. So we went to Canadian Tire, a department store here in Canada. We picked up some trashy tennis rackets. No, you know what? To be honest, these rackets are actually very good. The backhand slice is a dream with these rackets. The only problem is that they're just super light. There's no stability. And the vibrations cause crazy blisters. But besides that, they're actually enjoyable to play with. We didn't really play much that summer, just like a couple times, but we played tennis every summer after that. Again, not as often as I'd like, not as often as you need to make big improvements, but enough to have a good time. Which professional player do you hope secretly watches your channel? I feel like it would be pretty cool if any member of the Big 3 were to see one of those AI Big 3 videos that I made. I mean, they're pretty silly, you know, so they might just think it's the stupidest thing they've ever seen. But it would be cool if it could give at least one of them a laugh. Also, a guy like Medvedev comes to mind. He's got a good sense of humor and he's basically a walking meme, you know? So I feel like maybe he'd appreciate the humor that I incorporate into this channel. And also apparently Tsitsipas spends a lot of time on YouTube.
I use YouTube.
And he has his own channel. So Stefanos, if you're watching, let's collab. Would you ever comment on a Wii tennis match? I will do anything for views. However, unfortunately, I'm not sure how many people would be interested in watching a video like this. Maybe you guys could let me know if that's something that would be interesting to you. Who is your favorite tennis player? So once I started following tennis, Federer quickly became my favorite tennis player. How could you not like Federer? His game is just aesthetic perfection. It is so beautiful, it is so elegant, and it's so smooth. But slowly but surely, as I continued to follow tennis, I began to develop more of an appreciation for Djokovic's game, and more than anything, his mentality. So Federer was my favorite player initially, but then as he kind of got injured and stopped playing, Djokovic kind of replaced him as my favorite player, and now I'm just a Djokovic fan. I'm definitely not a loyal tennis fan though. Going from Federer to Djokovic, that's probably gonna rub some people the wrong way, but it's what happens. So. And I'm not gonna lie, guys, I love the drama that comes with being a Djokovic fan. Like, something is always happening with Djokovic. You know, like he's either getting into it with someone in the crowd, or he's yelling at his coach, or he's yelling at the umpire, or he's smashing his racket, or he's getting disqualified from tournaments. He's drinking secret potions. He's getting deported from Australia. He's getting injured, but you don't know how severe the injury actually is. There's always some drama when it comes to Djokovic, and I actually like the drama. It's entertaining. And that's what sports is at the end of the day. It's entertainment. Who's your favorite player in the Big 3 and outside of the Big 3? So obviously I already mentioned that out of the Big 3, I'm a big fan of both Djokovic and Federer. Nothing against Nadal, by the way. Absolute icon, absolute legend. But I'm just personally more of a fan of Djokovic and Federer over him. But again, he's a legend. But outside of the Big 3, my favorite player is actually Dominic Thiem. So recently, it's been tough. Next question. When can we expect for you to make your ATP Tour debut? hoping to get a wild card entry into the National Bank Open this year. What is your favorite or most memorable tennis match? Most memorable tennis match for me is without a doubt the Wimbledon 2019 final. I mean, it was heartbreaking, because as I mentioned, I was a Federer fan at the time, but that's also a match where all of us truly got to see like just how mentally tough Djokovic is. Still remember seeing that lady lift up her one finger saying one more point. What a dramatic match. Honorable mention to the 2020 US Open final. A lot of people say that the quality of tennis in that match was bad or whatever. In my opinion, yeah, it wasn't the highest quality of tennis I've ever seen played in a final. But to see Thiem come back from 2-0 down to get his first slam, it was an epic final. And I also have to say that it pains me that I was not following tennis at the time that the 2017 Australian Open final happened, because that probably would have been my all-time favorite match. If you could be either the biggest tennis YouTuber in the world or ATP 198, which would you pick? That's actually a very good question and a very tough one to answer, because if I'm the biggest tennis YouTuber in the world, that means I'm entertaining probably hundreds of thousands of people around the world, having a positive impact on their lives through my videos, and at the same time, I'd be making a decent living from it. However, if I were the ATP number 198, I really wouldn't be entertaining all that many people. You're pretty much playing smaller tournaments where no one's really watching unless maybe they have a bet on it or something. And also, you're not really making any money at that point either. In fact, you might be losing money. However, if I were to be the 198, I wouldn't plan on staying at the 198 spot, you know? So I think I would choose that and just do everything I can to try to rise up the rankings and play in big tournaments, to play matches in big tournaments in front of huge crowds and try to put on a show for them. That would be amazing. So I think I'd go with that. But both amazing options. Great question. And not that they need a shout out, but shout out to Felix from Tennis Brothers and Karu from My Tennis HQ, who realistically have a shot of accomplishing both of these things at the same time, which is pretty crazy. Will you ever show off that beautiful one-handed backhand that you most definitely possess? I appreciate your confidence that I possess a beautiful one-handed backhand. I do use a one-hander. I have mentioned a few times on the channel that I'm a huge fan of the one-handed backhand. Can I call my own backhand a thing of beauty? You know, like I am a bit arrogant, but I don't think I'm that arrogant. I think you guys are gonna have to see it for yourself and form your own opinion of it. Again, it is a work in progress, just like the rest of my game. And just stay tuned, because I will be uploading match play to the channel, and I hope to do it sooner rather than later. All right, that's the end of the Q&A. Thank you guys again for 1,000 subscribers, and thank you to everyone who left a question. I tried to answer as many questions as I could without repeating myself too much. And one more thing I wanted to say before ending this video is that almost all of you guys who did leave a question for this video prefaced your question by saying like, congratulations, or by letting me know how much you love my videos. And I just want to say one big thank you to all you guys for those kind words. It means a lot to me. And that's it. That's the end of this video. All right, see you guys next time. Bye.